Okay, in this video, I'm going to talk a little bit about the second portion of your grade, which is the reflection assignments. So if we go to the syllabus, and then we go to course and grading, and we scroll down, and we go to reflection assignments. Okay, so each reflection assignment will have specific guidelines, but I'll require the following general guidelines. Read all discussion posts in the unit's discussion forum and any instructor feedback received. It should be evident in your reflection that you have completed this requirement, as you are expected to reference posts from yourself and your peers in support of your reflections on the learning. Make sure you address expectations given in each reflection assignment and related to rubric. All reflection assignments must be submitted online in a proper assignment submission area of the course. Links to the 5 course reflection assignments are given below. Currently, you only see 2. Early reward and late penalty for reflection assignments. To encourage students to do their work early enough and to seek assistance if needed, you get 5 extra credit points when you submit your reflection assignment at least 48 hours early. Late penalties. Reflection assignments are meant to be done at specific times in the course to reflect your learning of the material up to that point. When a student completes a reflection later, then we had already moved on to new material, which may affect the reflection. However, there are occasions when you might miss a deadline. I'd rather you attempt to complete it within a reasonable time frame. But your score will be penalized as following. Anything submitted 8 hours to 5 days late will lose half credit. Anything submitted more than 5 days will not receive credit. And obviously there could be extenuating circumstances. However, if there are, documentation must be provided. So what we want to do here is we want to check out Unit 1 and Unit 2 reflection, and we're going to go with Unit 1 first. Excuse me. Now, Unit 1 is more like a test, and so you're going to be asked to reflect on your strengths and weaknesses entering the course, particularly related to what you've been learning in the course. There are 7 essay questions for you to be you're being asked, and a rubric with expectations for each question. So in order for you to do that, to see the rubric, unless somebody else finds a different way, and if you do, please let me know, you have to actually begin it. And it says multiple attempts excuse me, are not allowed, and only can be taken once, but you can save it. So there's a difference between save and submit and save all answers. All right, so the first course learning outcomes is that by the end of this course, students should be able to use a variety of strategies to solve problems. Here are a list of problem-solving strategies that we will be looking at. Which of these strategies, this is very small, I'll try to make that bigger. Which of these strategies have you used before, and how would you rate your current proficiency or confidence on each? And which of the strategies are new to you or you do not recognize? Okay, so you sit down to do this. Before you do that, go to the rubric. And again, I recommend list view and showing descriptions. Advanced, 100%. Gives whether you have heard or or use the strategy before and how confident you are in using the strategy of each of the 13 problem-solving strategies given. So, if I were you, I would make sure I hit each one of those 13 problem-solving strategies. If you want to get lesser score, then you can hit less of them. Okay, so that's pretty straightforward, I think. Okay, let's move on just for, for good measure. The second learning outcome is that by the end of the course, students must be able to organize information to show understanding and help solve problems. What previous experience do you have in showing your understanding of a problem? I.e., have you had to show or explain the setup of a math problem in a previous course? An example. Do you think organizing information to show understanding is something that you are already good at, or will you have to work at it, and why? And as a future teacher, why do you think it's important for you to be able to do so? Rubric. List view, show descriptions, easier for me to see. Demonstrates reflective and critical thinking and answering all 3 questions. Okay, so I'm going to, I'll just push save all answers, close, and then I will maybe let's see what happens if we just click off real quick. Okay, so that was Unit 1 reflection. Okay, Unit 2 reflection is a little different. You're actually going to make a video. So for your second reflection assignment, create a video reflection on 2 course outcomes of your choice. See rubric for specific expectations. When submitting your video, you can attach or you can click on Write Submission and state you've made a Tegrity video, and that's through the course tab, and there's an example. Or you can post the URL for the YouTube video. So let's say that you made it on your phone, okay? You can upload that video to YouTube if you want. That's an example. And then the Tegrity video, I don't actually do Tegrity videos myself, so you're going to have to go through and look at that, but I'm happy to help you. If you have questions about it, I'll investigate it for you for sure. Click on Unit 2 Reflection in the blue text above the assignment, and you can view the assignment and the associated rubric. Well, okay, so that's actually the description that you see on the previous page. The rubric is sitting right here. Again, you know, me. Okay. And so here's the rubric. Again, this is somewhat subjective, but you really need to make sure you're reflecting, and you need to include an example. Okay? So be sure to be as clear as possible. Example, if you read this in 10 years, would you know what you were talking about? That's how I always tell my students to think about it. If you read this in 10 years, would you know what you're talking about? So include details as much as you can. Don't be redundant. Don't be wordy, just be wordy. Write words that make sense and help me understand and help others understand what you're trying to say. Okay. So that's the reflection assignments. There are two ways to access the reflection assignments. Let's say you are in Unit 2, and it's in Unit 2 reflection. Again, I cannot emphasize this enough. You can't do the reflection without looking at the discussion board. That's the whole point, okay? You have to find ways to reflect. You need to make sure that you have already looked at all the materials before you can do that, okay? So you can't go ahead too much in this course, with the exception of going ahead and looking at problems that you're going to have to do, right? You can go to the book and you can read ahead and you can do problems, but once it comes to the discussion board and peer feedback and further thoughts and reflection, you're going to have to wait that out, okay? So just organize yourself as best you can. Ask questions if you need any help, and I'll try my best to help you. So again, two ways to access the reflection questions, or you can go straight to the reflection assignment right here. Okay, so the answers tab is here, but you don't actually see those until the Wednesday after things are due. So just wanted to point that out too. Okay, so that wraps up the videos for the most part. If there are issues or we run into some specific questions that would be better to address by a video, then I will do that. Thank you for your attention.